Welcome back to The Edge. Hey, today's show is all about benefit luncheons and peanut butter consumption. And say that in 2 lines fast. First, we'll be joined by the team from the Christamore House Guild to discuss the upcoming book and author benefit. Then we get wacky with Paul Poteet, as usual. Finally, we'll eat peanut butter with a spoon and try to conduct an interview as we welcome Be Happy Peanut Butter. All that and more today on The Edge.
Your audio and video source featuring Indianapolis tech trends, marketing industry champions, and business innovation. This is Edge of Indy. Broadcasting from Edge Media Studios. Let's get today's conversation started.
Welcome. Welcome back to The Edge. Hey, for everybody who hasn't come across this show before, we're live on Facebook, as well as always on iTunes and podcasts everywhere. Everywhere we are. If you haven't come across this show is about focusing on Indianapolis entrepreneurs, innovators, movers, and shakers here in Indy. We feature people and organizations that make Indianapolis a great place to live, work, and visit. So we're always talking about how to focus on local business in Indianapolis, and we recommend choosing local and choosing local often. My name's Aaron Sparks. I'm the CEO of Site Strategics and Edge Media Studios, and this show is being broadcast through our downtown studio at Edge Media Studios. So if you're interested in what we can do for you on that front, give us a shout over at edgemedia.studio. To my right is the Director of Marketing Services, Brittany Simpson. How are we doing?
Hanging in there.
It's like you have a little bit of tobacco between your cheek and gum. What's going on?
It is a mint, so that I don't cough.
I appreciate that. You're not feeling that good today.
Well, I have malaria, so I'm being treated for malaria. It's true. The antibiotic that I'm on treats sinus infections and also malaria.
Didn't know that before we got in the booth with a sealed environment here.
Just in case, you might always be carrying malaria, so it's good to treat it.
Did not know that.
Right.
Good thoughts for reference, everybody. You could very well be catching malaria.
Not for me. I'm being treated.
Okay, thank you. In-house, we have someone who is yet to be infected. That's Kara Kavensky.
She looks very healthy.
Yes, she does. Kara Kavensky, CEO of NX Innovate Ltd. How are you doing, Kara?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. Kara, you are not a stranger to this show.
No, I am not. So I appreciate you allowing me to come back.
Of course.
Are you feeling well?
I am, thank you, and I intend to keep it that way.
We're going to ask you at the end of the show if you have the same feelings. So Kara's been with us whenever we went out to NX3, as well as showcasing a number of contributors and movers and shakers in Indianapolis. So we always appreciate you coming back around. And you brought with you a number of individuals as well as a really cool concept. So we'd like to introduce, is it Deana or Dina?
Dina.
Deana Silver.
Why would it be Deana? Let's play a game called Why Would It Be Deana?
Oh, she's giggling at me. Did you hear that? She's literally giggling at me.
I like that game name.
Oh.
And I'm sorry to be missing peanut butter.
We can send you some.
Yeah.
Well, Deana, how you doing?
In the Kitchen with Deana. What's that song?
Whatever. Hey, Deana Silver, she's the author, No Time to Blink. Thanks so much for joining us today on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. This is super fun. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. Well, we got a full house today, all here to promote the book and author benefit hosted by the Christamore House Guild. Can somebody give us kind of a lay of the land in terms of what the Christamore House Guild is all about? And we'll talk about the event that's going to be coming up.
Yes, thank you for asking. So this is the 38th annual Christamore House Guild Book and Author event. Mm-hmm. All proceeds from this event go to sponsoring fully funding scholarships that are awarded to students in the Hawville area and neighborhood. That's where Christamore House is located. And it was founded by 2 students from Butler University over 100 years ago.
Go Dogs.
Very cool. Very cool.
And okay, so many of the Christamore House Guild's programs focus on things like personal and family development. Can you give us more specific information on all the areas in which those programs really reach? Because it's expansive, kind of what they're doing.
Well, what Christamore House does is really serve the community of Hawville in a really meaningful way. They offer many very beneficial programs to the neighborhood, and they also include the PAL, the PAL, PAL boxing group that's upstairs in the attic. So there's early education. There's a facility across the street for caring for the elderly, basically. There's a home across the street, plus the Christamore House focuses on education and creating a holistic source of basically a community center to support the neighborhood and the needs there in the area.
When you say boxing,
I mean boxing.
you mean with your fist or putting things in boxes?
No, I mean boxing, like the exercise.
Got
Like
it.
I've trained these kids before, so
Thought I would clarify that.
Yeah,
because
no, it's an amazing program for the kids, and it's for older teens. These are high school age and up, and it's their sport. It's unbelievable. But specifically with the Christamore House Guild was formed to support the programs, the early education to all areas. There's several parties around the year that the guild members are involved in, a lot of fundraising efforts, and it's a really important component of the community. And then those of us that support those programs are really happy to be involved with this process, specifically with the book and author event that we have coming up. And this is the 38th annual, and it's April 20th. Through this program and sponsoring the scholarships, that's encouraging to the students in the area that there's another means to go on to earn a 4-year degree, past their high school. And through the programs that we offer, or through the scholarship, we are able to support that community in a really meaningful way. And several of the people that have benefited from the educational advantages that they've received from Christamore House come back and volunteer.
Oh, very
so
cool.
it's really amazing.
Yeah, feedback into the ecosystem. Give
Exactly,
back to it. Yeah.
exactly. They're definitely giving back. So the Christamore House is really doing its job well.
Excellent. What a great mission. Now, the book and author benefit that's coming up April 20th is at the Indiana Roof Ballrooms, and attendees there will be able to rub elbows with authors. So tell us more about that.
Much
Yeah.
like Dinah.
See?
See, let's please call her.
I
Deana.
answer to a whole variety of names.
Deana, I'm your friend.
So this year we have some amazing authors. Deana Silver is one of them with her 6th novel. We're really blessed to be able to have gotten her as one of our authors this year.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I'd actually like to defer to Deana. She is a Purdue grad, and she counts as our local author this year, which is fantastic, and has a really great following. I've heard a lot of buzz about her coming. In addition to Deana, we have several of the top bestsellers right now on the list. So we have The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. He's coming. Laura Lippman wrote Sunburn, The Room on the Rue Amelie by Kristen Harmel, The Home for Unwanted Girls by Joanna Goodman, The Wife Between Us, a very popular thriller, Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. And this list is unbelievable. And then to have Deana join us, she has a unique story and she's super fun. I love watching and following her on social media. So Deana, I'd love for you to share some input that you have.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, of course, I have my book next to me. Here it is. Yay. Much more attractive now. I'm so excited for next week. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I'm so honored that myself and the book was chosen this year. I had heard about this event a few years ago from a girlfriend of mine who lives in Indianapolis, told me about it, and it's just kind of been on my radar. And it's such a fantastic event. And when I say it's an honor to be there, it really is, because it's a juried event basically, and the books are submitted and chosen, and it's just not anyone gets to be involved. So I'm super excited and humbled to be with the other authors there. My book is fiction. All my books are fiction, but they are all inspired by true stories, real stories that either happen to friends of mine or acquaintances. This book in particular is based on something that happened to a friend of mine. She was abducted by her father as a very young girl a long time ago. She's about my age now, but I just remember sitting with her one time and her sort of telling me about the story and telling me about her mother's journey. And it's just, I feel sometimes when I talk about the book and I kind of gush over how great I think the story is, I feel like I'm not being totally braggy because I didn't invent this story, and it really is such an incredible story. And it was amazing just to be kind of trusted with those memories. And kind of put my own spin on it.
No, you're blessed to be able to champion somebody's story that they weren't able to actually bring to light. So I mean, you're kind of given the
custodial.
That's the term for it.
Or shepherd for that.
Deana, where are you joining us from? I'm curious.
I'm just north of Chicago in the suburbs.
So it must be, like you said, it must be really important, this event, because if it's going to get you in the car and to Indianapolis to participate in it, like it has to have really a lot of meaning to you. What specific, and you touch on, obviously you have to submit the book and get selected for this event, but why would you encourage people here in Indianapolis and even from north of Chicago to come and attend this event? Like what do you think is going to be really the thing that really sets this event apart from others like it?
Well, I think, and I haven't been to this event yet, but I feel from what I've learned that it has a real personal element to it that and if you're a reader, a fan of great books and reading, and gosh, there's some really great authors and books involved this year with me. It's such a great opportunity to really get kind of up close and personal. A lot of times if you just go to a signing at a bookstore or something, it's just like those few seconds. Hey, what's your name?
Like a drive-by. Yeah,
total drive-by. So this event feels at a much bigger scale, but also on a much more personal level. Is kind of my guess. You get to learn more about the authors, spend more time with them, have lunch with them, and all for a great cause too.
Yeah, for that cause, we want to make sure that the listeners and the watchers of the event realize that the proceeds of the event go to support the Francis Carter Coburn Scholarship Foundation, or Fund, I'm sorry, as well as an educational programs offered through Christamore House, right?
Kara?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I'm texting.
Kara, we're on a show right now. Would you like to...
Tell us more about, I mean, you've unpacked some of those educational programs, but your attendance there will absolutely help fund these organizations.
Yeah, so directly.
So tell us about some of those charities, and on top of that, who other brands that actually help those charities as well.
With the Christamore House Guild? So, well, there's early childhood development and after-school programs, senior citizen services, preventive services, educational ones, maybe about, I've seen flyers over there regarding financial health and overall holistic approach to helping the families there. So by being involved with the Christamore House Guild, specifically, you volunteer in those spaces, volunteer at the house monthly, and are really learning the stories of the kids and of the employees there who are just amazing. Everyone that is wrapped around the Christamore House has such a good heart. Definitely woven into the mission there, and those of us that are involved just do whatever we can to help facilitate success for the families in the area.
Well, what's really interesting about this is that this is a charitable organization, a guild, that is giving straight back to the community. This is not a charity that goes large regional. This is
100%. All volunteer, really very little to no overhead. I mean, it's all...
Which is really unique whenever you're dealing with charities, is because they're plugged into a very micro-focused region. And we're seeing more and more of those type of organizations start to spring up in different areas, not only the city, but there's a new reality that can be created with these type of charities directly funding a region that you're trying to connect with, right? So you're seeing local really start to take root from, and you know where your money's going.
Right. Well, and it's a really powerful program to be involved with, and I'm going to ditch my distraction here. So, you have a unique opportunity with Christamore House and through the Guild and their efforts, because you're teaching these kids how to fish. You know, you're providing resources and this amazing experience as that we can provide for them at these earlier stages.
Right.
And Indianapolis really falters in the space of getting people out of poverty. There are some blockers to that. So, for instance, if you're a single mom and you make $16.25 an hour and you get a raise to $16.75 an hour, that person would no longer qualify for childcare for their kids. So it's amazing. And a lot of
kidding?
No, I'm not. It's a true story. True story.
Wow.
I got that from CICF. And so there's the targeted effort with the Guild, which, keep in mind, Christamore House has been around since 110 years ago. It was founded.
Oh, wow.
1908. So it's been targeted from the beginning to specifically help this neighborhood, which 110 years ago wasn't as bad as it is now.
Sure.
Right? And I don't even want to say it that way. I'm sorry. Let me cancel, clear, delete, and back that up a little bit. It's improving. So you have a lot of efforts going on, and there was a time in the 90s when it was Liz Craft Taylor, when she was in charge of the she was president of the Indy 500 Festival, said, no, we're not going to run the Mini up and down Meridian. No one wants to see these mansions. Let's go out to the track. Let's run through the real part of Indianapolis that a lot of these people don't get to see. And that went right through Hawville, to be clear. So the Mini was the one of the first times, I think, that many of those 10,000 runners or whatever experienced Hawville. And I remember running it and seeing things that I had never seen before. That same year, the first year, it was switched up in the direction. So, but when you have groups like the Guild and you have a need in a community, it's not about let's just go do good and it makes us feel good. Right. So anyone that really wants to do meaningful philanthropic work should read a book called oh gosh, now I'm forgetting the book, but there are several books that focus on basically teaching people how to fish and doing a really meaningful job and not focusing on charity, but lifting people up. Yeah. So there's a big difference. So when you provide some necessity type of support
and skill development,
skills. The programs that help educate and provide that guidance and that mentorship at those young ages, at the after school programs for the families that come in that benefit from the Christamore House, then you're really making an impact. So the Christamore House is doing an amazing job of uplifting the residents in that area. And also consider this, when Mayor Hogsett did his first State of the City address, he chose the gymnasium at Christamore House. It's a really pivotal area. We have a tech company called Kinney Group that's right across the street. There are other businesses around that are starting to come in and asking, develop, but they're not displacing. This isn't gentrification. This is helping the neighborhood. How can we be involved? And I like to think about like Christamore House and other efforts in this space where you kind of give them a pile of Legos and say, build what you want. What works for you?
And gives them the ability to plug into their community in a whole different dimension. And it gives them ownership of that as opposed to just taking charity, because self-esteem comes from being able to give back and be able to bootstrap not only yourself, but also your community around you. And that's where charities have not gotten it over the years, that it's just not about money. It's about space in which you can actually teach and be able to grow pride in your community, right?
Right. And the book and author event, it's tradition. This is the 37th annual, but it's becoming more casual. It's not so much the cocktail dress concept anymore. It's evolving and partially out of necessity, but partially because that it's more attractive,
Yep.
to people, and it's a fun event every year. And what's so meaningful is authors like Deana Silver and all of these get to share their personal stories, and they're all speaking
Right.
at the event. You can buy a table with your favorite author.
That's what I was going to touch on too, is
Yeah.
kind of the ticket side of things, because it's not just get a ticket and then you get slotted in where you get slotted in, and you have to sit where you just get filed in. You can purchase things strategically, and you can sit with the author themselves, which is pretty cool.
Right.
So we're going to display the link and tell us more about like kind of the ticket offering and how that works.
Well, you just click and buy.
Well, okay, well,
That's all I got on the tickets.
Fair enough.
We just want you to buy. No, we encourage engagement, and all the books will be for sale at the event. It's a really unique opportunity. We have Angela. I'm sorry, I went to high school with her, so I call her Angie. Angela Buckman is our MC.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we also have a special author reception the evening before. I think there's a couple tickets left for that. And that is going to be in a phenomenal estate. That information is on our website. We're also on Facebook. But it's ChristamoreHouseGuild.org is the website. And then under events, and it even just has book and author as one of our tags.
Yeah, we've got it on the screen right there, ChristamoreGuild.org.
we'll throw it in the notes too.
Book -author -benefit, but we'll throw it in the show notes as well as in the comment stream. Certainly implore everybody to come out and be able to participate, because it's a very worthy cause. But it's also great to be able to see authors coming from all different areas to be able to contribute into this. Deana, we certainly want to reach out and ask you a little bit about how you came to know about this particular event and what this event means to you.
Well, I'm so glad I don't need a cocktail dress because I don't have one. Yeah, I'm a pants girl. This event I heard about, so I went to Purdue University a few years ago.
Boiler up.
Yeah. And one of my girlfriends, one of my Kappa Kappa Gamma sisters, lives in Indianapolis, and I think was on the board of the guild or the event at that time. I think it was about 4 years ago. And I've got a lot of friends from college who live in the area. So I'm super excited because I really haven't been to Indy in years. I haven't been back to Purdue in years either. I'm a terrible alumni.
Alumnus.
So she told me
that was Kara who said that, not me.
Oh, it's okay. Okay. I'm unoffendable. So she had told me about the event. I can't remember. It was a while ago. There's kind of not strict, but there's restrictions for the authors and the event as far as when your book comes out. And I think my book didn't meet the standards for that year. But I've just been kind of following the event every year, and they get killer talent. I mean, again, I am so honored to be part of this author panel, because every year the caliber of authors who are in attendance are phenomenal, in my opinion. So I'm thrilled to meet the other authors, and I can't wait to be there. Ooh, that's a little annoying. I never answer my landline. I don't even know why it rings. Okay.
Get that closer to the speaker.
It's a telemarketer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Deana, it's also very important to point out on this event about this event that since it started, it has actually raised over $2 million and provided scholarships to more than 950 students pursuing undergraduate degrees, postgrad, and vocational training. That's huge.
That's huge.
It's a lot of students served, for sure.
Absolutely.
As far as Christamore House Guild membership, I think that's also really important to touch on, because if, say, people want to really tie in and get involved with that organization, can you tell us more about what that kind of looks like and what members do?
Well, we volunteer, and whatever your time, talent, treasure, whatever you want to do is up to you. How involved or uninvolved you'd like to be, but just participate. That's up to the individual. So I recommend going to the website and then reaching out, or following us on Facebook, and then reaching out that way, or someone can reach out to me directly,
I was
whatever.
going to say, and surely I can put them in touch with you, Kara.
Right,
Yep.
exactly. Contact
So,
the show.
I mean, there's a twofold initiative. Obviously, you want to be part of the event, and that event's coming up April 20th. You can find out all the information with the link that we have down there, ChristamoreGuild.org. You can also find out about the organization and get inspired about this organization, because there certainly is a need for these type of charitable organizations that give back to different areas of Indianapolis, because there's certainly a need out there. And if you're wired that way to be able to start up an organization like that, I mean, use Christamore Guild as a huge inspiration, because if you can give back and can plug into local, you're gratified so much more than any national type of charity. And nothing against them, but you want to have our community be able to plug back in and give, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's so many. There's no shortage of opportunity for engagement anywhere. Anywhere. It's just a question of where your passion lies, where you want to help, how you want to help, and where you think you can serve most efficiently.
Excellent. Deana, last question. I want to circle around to you. You have had 6 books published.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. That is fantastic.
Thanks.
What's it like to be a published author like that, to be able to have that wake behind you?
It's incredible. My son is 15, and he just this year started being impressed by me.
It's right on time, I think. That's right on time.
So I think that's maybe the best thing to happen out of all of it. My brass ring is to write a screenplay and to one day see one of my books turned into a movie. So I love doing it. I feel just blessed with the opportunities that I've had and the stories that I've been able to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really fun. It's one of those things that just kind of happened organically. I worked in advertising as a writer, and I wanted to write a screenplay. And someone said to me, "Why don't you try and write a novel first, and maybe it'll be picked up and made into a movie." So that's the plan. It just hasn't happened yet.
Well, I am certain you are on your trajectory to be able to do that. So congrats to you. And we certainly recommend picking up your book. It's a fantastic read, as I hear. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to be on my way to the bookstore to be able to pick one up and consume it, because...
Or if you'd like to send us signed copies, that's also okay. We would
there's
also
that
accept
too.
those as well.
I'm not seeing you at the event.
What'd she say?
She's asking if she's going to see you at the event. You're supposed to buy tickets and say yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's another way. I also like free books. So
I'll bring one.
Well, kudos, Deana, to give back to your community, and it was great to be able to see an Indianapolis member come back around and give back. So we need you back here, not in Chicago. What's going on there?
I'm coming.
All right.
Can't wait.
there's a lot of
Very good.
restaurants you need to get to too. So
I know. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I mean that wholeheartedly. I've been so excited for this event. I cannot wait. And to be there again and see all my girls in the neighborhood. So it'll be fun.
All right. So for all of our audience, we want to make sure you check out Christamore House Guild at ChristamoreGuild.org and go there, get a ticket to the event. It's a cool event coming up April 20th. And you can also check out on Facebook, Christamore House Guild, as well as on Twitter at CH Guild. So dive in there and interact with this great organization that's giving back to its local locality. It's local locality. It's region. What the heck was that?
localities. Also, Kara, if they want to connect with you and ask you questions, how can people find you?
Kara at Kara Kavensky. Of course, my last name is extremely easy to spell. And that's my. They can DM me at KaraKavensky.
Shoot her a DM, she said. Slip into her DMs.
Alrighty. Well, thanks so much, Kara, for bringing this to our attention, and we certainly support your involvement there. And if I can't be there, we're going to certainly lift you up on social as the event comes closer.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. All right. Coming up, we're going to be talking to some that you really don't want to DM, but it might be.
You might DM him too.
Oddly enough, he'll probably DM you right back too.
Right away. Away.
That's Going on the Edge with Paul Poteet coming up right after this. Well, this was Site Strategics investment in the Indianapolis community. We wanted to really help NX3 shine. It's a fantastic opportunity to be able to bring Site Strategics and everything that we've been able to grow to be here over the last few years, and then plug into the community, be able to help, be able to support a number of brands that are here. But more importantly, really, it's a gathering for our team to really just get out of the office and just have some fun together. A lot of times we're working so hard that we don't see a lot of the tech startup community, and this is exactly why we moved downtown, is to be able to have that connection, and this was a great platform to be able to really roll out what we do. Last year was the year of pivot. I mean, we left the South Side, knew that we had to be downtown in Indianapolis just because of the technology scene. And on top of that, we tripled our footprint, our square foot footprint downtown to make room for our live cast studio, as well as be able to expand into a much larger collaborative space for all our employees. Our role in the tech community is going to take off like a rocket ship. It honestly is, we look to help give lift to so many companies with our digital marketing tactics, as well as our studio, to be able to paint the picture, tell the why story of so many of these organizations. We've got a great team of videographers, be able to, podcast technology that is surpassing almost everybody in the country, and I'm really proud of this convergence of skills and technology to help tell a story for all of these other companies. We have organically grown, and we are now bringing a great number of really sharp people into our organization, because it's time to do that now. And with everything that we've been able to invest in from skill sets and technology, we are now really able to tell our own story, as well as so many other companies. And I got a lot of pride in who is part of this organization now. I'm proud of each and every individual that works for Site Strategics. There's no way I could have ever done this without a good deal of blessings and a good deal of really caring people to get us to this degree. And I'm just so excited about what we're about to do. The next couple of years is just going to be fantastic.
So Edge of Indy is a weekly Facebook Live broadcast where we interact with some of Indy's best and brightest movers and shakers, promote our internal brands, so Site Strategics and Edge of Indy itself. Additionally, we wanted to really connect Indianapolis and form connections with people we might eventually want to do business with. You know, small mom and pop businesses or restaurants, startup companies, small to medium-sized businesses, some of Indy's bigger organizations. You know, there's a lot of good things happening, but a lot of times you're either missing it or you're so tied up in your day-to-day that you don't know what's going on. And so this is just a quick and easy way to learn about awesome things going on in our city. Edge of Indy is less than a year old, and within that year we've had over 155,000 Facebook Live views, over 1,000 individual show shares and show likes. And then in terms of show downloads of the podcast itself, there have been over 4,000 of those. So what I want to say about Paul Poteet is that he brings definitely a new energy to the show. It's kind of a dad energy. He and Aaron like to swap the dad jokes and make it like a dad versus dad thing. And then you've got this blonde girl in the middle, this millennial that's just like, oh dad. And it's always nice to have him. He brings a really fun energy, and it's always good to know what weather lies ahead. We have a lot of big plans for what lies ahead. We are looking for sponsors, so to get companies engaged and kind of getting their backing and support in the community. Maybe one day have more than one show a week. That's something to build towards. We are looking at having like on-site live shows on location other places. So taking it out of the studio, packing it up, and going to our guests and interviewing them there. You should definitely tune in every week, because we've got some great guests who really need some support here in Indianapolis. It's just fun and a light, easy way to learn about what's going on. And tune in for some great, happy, lively, fun conversations.
Real life, real stories. Let's see what's trending in Indianapolis. This is Paul Poteet on The Edge.
Is that?
Oh, wait a minute. My thing got stuck.
Good start, everyone. Good start.
We need more cowbell. It's not even cowbell. You've got no ring.
That's the quietest cowbell I've ever heard.
You know, what's going on there?
That's from the Monumental Marathon, and it did get stuck for a moment. It hit the wall like I've done before running marathons. and then it wasn't doing anything. It may have something to do with a 3-year-old who's been,
Oh, it wasn't Baxter, huh?
in Papa's little special room. I've gotten it unstuck now. Usually you have to see a surgeon for something like that to happen. So
Yay, see, there's anher bell right there. See, his ding is functioning.
I know. Hi, Paul.
fully functional. Hi, how's everybody feeling?
Well, that one is...
Let's just all move on.
Yeah, we just don't want to actually call attention to the malaria victim here. Oh, wait, sorry, I said that.
It might be malaria. It might be bronchitis.
There's only a 33% chance I have malaria.
It's because of all the tsetse flies in the office.
Well, we've had some very tropical weather around here, so I can understand why you would be at risk for that.
Yeah. I don't know. So we're going to take our cue and just kind of move on.
Please, let's just all move on.
For all of the Edge of the Web, Edge of the Indy, sorry. We've been doing too many shows this week. It's all kind of muddling together.
And we're all on the edge, too. So
I feel your pain. Yes.
So for all the Edge of Indy watchers and listeners, Paul Petit, meet them meet Paul Poteet.
Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, sometimes you forget which place you're at. I was recently in Cincinnati again for a couple of days, and I was staying at this hotel, and I finished up with the 5:30 p.m. Weather yesterday afternoon. I go, it's time to go back home to Mrs. Poteet and Baxter into their loving arms and paws. I'm going up I-75, and it suddenly occurs to me, I'm going back to the hotel. I'm not going home. I need to be going west, not north again. That's bad.
You don't actually live there at the hotel. So.
I don't actually live here.
Right.
Felt like it for a while, though, right?
But it's funny how quickly you adapt to something or get into a rut. So, yeah, I realize. Has that ever happened to you? You're driving along and you think, well, this isn't where I'm supposed to be.
You're like, how did I get here?
I go on autopilot so many times when I'm taking the so whenever the Sparks troop is getting on the highway, all of a sudden I'm on my way downtown to.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like okay, and Karen goes, you know what? You're on autopilot. You want me to drive? I say, no, I'm fine.
All right. Okay, just a good slap every once in a while. That'll clear that up. All right. Well, people, they get very tense at work and they work real hard. Maybe that's part of the reason why. And apparently people are so committed to their jobs that there is a lot that they're willing to give up for their jobs, because that's our first story that we found on the Edge of the Web. What would you give up for a 10% raise, huh?
What is happening?
I don't know. We keep on saying Edge of the Web.
I know I have malaria, but what is happening?
So anyway, what do we got here?
35% of folks would give up the right to vote for a 10% raise at work.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, keep reading.
In all elections for life. So you get the one-time raise, and who knows? I guess you need to negotiate how long the raise goes, because you're willing to give up your right to vote forever.
That's an annual raise in salary. So they're looking at 10% in perpetuity.
Yeah, I guess. An immediate 10% raise. So no,
no, one time.
Wow.
I mean, you get the money now. Who knows if down the road? But these people would be willing to give up their right to vote down the road for life. 35%.
That is so disheartening.
Yeah, I know. Some of these other ones are crazy too.
53% will give up all social media accounts for the next 5 years. Well, I think I might do that, but. I would not do this. 47% would give up caffeinated products for the next 2 years if they got 2% raise. 43% would give up exercise for the next 5 years. Well, that could be the 43% of people who who don't want to do it anyway, right?
Twist my arm.
Check this out. 50% would work one day every weekend for the next year.
Hey, managers, do the math.
Yeah.
Take advantage of those people.
That doesn't make sense.
Here, you give me 10% more, I'll give you like 200% more. Okay.
All right, and so this I have to reject on principle. 73.42% would give up all alcohol beverages.
Crazy people.
For the next 5 years.
That's nuts. I mean, what if your job is driving you to drink?
Those people shouldn't be allowed to vote.
You should take away the right. They shouldn't give it up.
Prioritization, people. Don't you understand?
5% would eat a single Tide Pod to get a 10% raise.
Oh, can't that go away? Oh, wow.
12% would break up with their partner.
Like what?
You get a 10% raise. I mean, you got to figure those.
This is all tied to a 10% raise.
Yeah, just to get a measly 10% raise.
I was going to say, what are these people doing? Like, what are their jobs? Because if it's a huge amount of money, like, you know what I mean? If it's like 10% of a infinity, then okay, maybe we'll talk. But I don't imagine people who are willing to give up their spouses are making infinity dollars.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe. And plus, if you're going to give up your spouse and you're going to give up, your spouse and then get an influx of money, you need to contact a psychiatrist and then your attorney and your accountant, because
all that's going to be sapped right there.
Yeah, you would be getting more money just at the time you're going into a divorce proceeding.
Pretty much as a wash, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's gonna be
and they can't drink.
And they can't drink.
And you can't drink to either toast and or commiserate your
Interesting.
nuptials.
It's all about a raise. That literally would do that much. Oh man, these are weird responses.
40% would give up dental care for the next 5 years.
What percent?
So apparently that's how those
40%.
40% would.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
But 86% would give up Game of Thrones for life.
I'm making a lot of good money, brother.
Screen grab.
Yeah, I have no teeth anymore, but I'm making some good jack. Anyway, that's what people give up for an immediate 10% raise.
That's where we are, everybody. Fantastic.
That's not good.
Buckle your seatbelts, everyone. That's where we are.
That's where we are. Yeah, look around you. Maybe as you're streaming this at work right now, these are the people you're working with. Okay? I'm just saying. Just saying.
And if you see anybody with really failing oral hygiene, might want to inquire of, did they get a raise this last quarter or what? Right? It may be a flag for you.
Your teeth look like baked beans. Are you getting... Yeah. All right, I have an old school photo experience for those of you who have new school cameras. You have a smartphone, but you want some dumb photos, I guess. There's an iPhone app called Gudak as opposed to Kodak. Eudak. Look it up. It shoots virtual rolls of film. You get 24 exposures on each roll. Like the old days.
Yeah.
Playing those to Brittany, would you please?
I know what that is.
When you finish a roll, this is the best part of this. When you finish taking your 24 exposures, you have to wait an hour before you can load another. And in order to see your images, you have to hit the develop button and wait 3 days to see your pictures.
That is awesome.
That is stupid.
It's very much stupid,
Okay,
but at the same time, do we have too much time on our hands to actually?
Yes, entirely.
And it also, not only does it have those time restrictions, but it randomly puts like a little, I think they call them light leaks, where the little blurs or
Yeah.
Smudges like you used to get, and sometimes in the old school cameras when you would get the film developed. So you get the light, I think maybe light leaks, they call them. But the best part is that you have to wait. I mean, we're so used to,
instant.
Coffee is cold, you put it in the microwave for 40 seconds, whatever. But you have to wait, 3 days to see your pictures?
It's like fictionalized patience. We literally are trying to distance ourselves from gratification. Huh?
Well, we're using technology to pretend we don't have technology.
It's like Inception.
Yeah, exactly. I can remember when we would go on vacations, like to real scenic places, and we'd be so paranoid that we weren't getting, the pictures weren't, and that we would sometimes go to a 1 hour photo place, like in the city we were in. Remember the 1 hour?
Oh, yeah.
To get the picture, and so we'd have it before the end of the vacation. And we already thought that was like bending the time-space continuum. We're having our vacation, and we're looking at pictures.
What's funny is that my eldest son actually wanted something for Christmas, and this last Christmas he got a Polaroid. And that's making a comeback. Literally, it's spitting out Polaroid pictures, and he's having to
My niece has one of those too.
shake it like a Polaroid picture. Yeah, I did that.
Do you know who sings that though?
Moving on. No.
Well, they are. The benefit of that is the pictures don't exist anywhere else than physically in front of you.
Right.
Exactly.
Knock wood.
That sounded like metal.
Story number
There's
3.
metal.
There's some metal. The most outrageous baseball stadium foods. These are amazing. Now that is, that's the dilly dog, dilly. In Arlington, Texas Rangers play in Arlington, Texas. Dill pickle, cored and stuffed with a jumbo beef hot dog. Have you seen that online? That's kind of like a that's spreading around. I think that would be delicious myself. I love pickles, but with a hot dog, do you guys find that gross?
A little bit, yeah.
It's repulsive.
I'm 50-50 on the hot dog thing. I like brats, right?
Brats are good.
Still.
But the processed hot dog
Garbage.
thing, yeah, and the rat hairs really just kind of.
Oh, God.
You don't want to see them made. It's like just.
Jeez. That is a trigger for me.
Look at that thing. Look at that thing.
I mean, that can't be bad for you, can it? That's from Yankee Stadium.
No carbs there.
Delicious gourmet dessert. They call that the pinstripe shake. Vanilla shake topped with a churro, cotton candy. I don't like cotton candy. A Cracker Jack, get it, baseball, and caramel drizzle. The perfect combo of ballpark sweets for Yankee fans to enjoy.
Wow.
There's a couple on here that I would not in a million years, and we'll see if one of them. Well,
that's awesome.
That I'm into.
Yeah, that's from the New York Mets. What do they call that?
Chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I just got into chicken and waffles.
But you got to go with hot sauce on the chicken and waffles. Too.
Oh, so good. Okay, now Colorado Rockies. You've all heard of Rocky Mountain oysters, right? Well, they have a little thing called the Rocky Mountain Po' Boy at Coors Field. Cattle testicles come top. Paul, could you read that line again? And this time emphasize punch cattle. Cattle testicles that are topped with garlic slaw, guacamole, green chili ranch, pico, and some kind of other cheese.
That looks how my sinuses feel. If that helps everyone understand a little bit better.
Well, this Poteet ain't going to eat a po' boy anytime soon, I can tell you that.
Oh, my Lord. There's a joke there, Brittany, but I can't
Just leave it where it is. It's totally fine.
Just give us a hint.
No, it's an HR violation. Moving on.
Log cabin. Let's get into our safe space, into the log cabin with a waffle. Rosemary-scented waffles stuffed with pulled pork. That actually sounds good. Huh. Cheese curds and maple baked beans.
Did you just at cheese curds?
I guess that's
sacrilege.
I'd rather eat than think about because it tastes better than it sounds. That's from Phoenix. That's
pulled pork stuffed waffles. Now that's interesting.
No.
I think I would like that. Do we have the let's see, from the Seattle Mariners? There we go. Toasted grasshoppers.
I'm sorry, what?
Toasted grasshoppers.
With a wedge of lime.
They come lightly seasoned with salt, chili, and lime juice and can be a taco topping or eaten from a bucket.
Or naturally eaten from a bucket.
A bucket of grasshoppers.
That's beautiful.
That's in Seattle where all the trends begin.
That's Safeco Field.
Yeah, that was just kind of a nacho thing that didn't look too bad. But yeah, in Phoenix they had, I think we went past that, an 18-inch hot dog. $28 for that hot dog. Can you believe that? Fries, all kinds of different toppings. The fries are on it, and it's stuffed inside of a hot dog bun in Phoenix. And there's the log cabin waffle sandwich. Dogs are, still big, but they don't say, buy me some peanuts and cattle testicles. That's not the song. That's not the way. That's not the way any of this works. There's no way I'm
every time you're on, man. It's a brand new ringtone I have to create for Paul Poteet.
My golden voice saying, "Buy me some peanuts and cattle testicles."
There you go. Wow,
that's what you can get out at Coors Field, and I would need like about 20 cores after that.
I was gonna say.
Just to wash it out.
Forget the memory of that. So avoid the po' boy.
Well, there you go.
All po' boy, Poteet. And that are three things I found this week on
the edge.
On the edge.
Had to go with cattle testicles, right?
What?
Oh yeah,
not cow testicles. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean,
the wheels are falling off again.
That would be one butch cow. So
What do we look like from a weather forecast standpoint? I know we're trying to give something to our audience as opposed to the cesspool we're in. What are you doing?
I was being a cow with who's about to be served, not with papers either.
Oh my Lord!
We're about to get warmer around here. Oh my! I believe I'm having the vapors right now. Around 60 today and the 70s for a couple of days, consecutive above average days, which we really have not had since February. 60 today. If you're watching our initial live stream, nice. The breezes are a little bigger than they have been. 72 tomorrow, 74 on Friday, and it looks like a bumpy weekend with periods of showers and thunderstorms around on Saturday, and probably some pretty good rainfall again, unfortunately. Have you been to the White River lately? I sometimes walk or run by this path that goes by the White River, and that sucker was high. You could have put river boats out there when I walked last week. So we don't need more rain, but we'll get it this weekend. And then look real closely at that Monday icon.
I see it, Paul.
Yeah, you see there? That's like I tried to slip it in, but it's sort of like something from cattle that you put inside of,
in a bun
at a baseball stadium. You're going to see it. You're going to see, snowflakes.
So you're at 70 degrees and then snow in days.
Yeah.
Happy April.
Yeah, probably mixed with rain on Monday. So nothing.
I like your warning. Enjoy the temps, but don't get cocky.
Yeah, that's right. It was a cautionary tale.
Right,
So
it's important.
Make most of the next few days here while you can, and then brace yourself, batten down your hatches. But really, it really will cut down on the malaria. I think that's around. If we get
The rampant case of malaria here in central Indiana.
So that's glass half full.
Well, thanks so much, Paul. How can our audience, our listeners, our watchers get a hold of you?
All these recipes are on my website. We used to always say that. People always are saying that on TV. The recipes are on the website. For more information, it's on the website. It's paulpoteet.com, PAULPOTEET.com. Busier than ever, so you can keep up with all the stuff going on there, okay?
Fantastic, fantastic. So don't be an outcast, all right? I know where that song is.
Did you look it up?
Of course not.
You did?
No, I did. No,
You did.
no,
I wasn't
would
watching.
never.
This guy cooler than being cool, obviously. Yeah.
We don't have the internet here at all.
Again, 2004. It's that same year.
I was.
Oh my gosh, was it that long ago? Was it
Yeah.
almost 15 years ago that song was
Yes.
out?
Yeah, evidently, I'm about 14 years in the past, as my topical song references are today.
Well, at least you're not talking about like Casey and the Sunshine Band or something, or Disco Duck, something like that. Well, Google it.
There was a song, Disco Duck.
A song called Disco Duck, and it was like #1, and it's amazing.
I'm gonna pass, but thank you.
Next time you're tempted to make fun of who was the one guy, Psy, and what was that one fad about 5 years ago?
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style. Yeah, the next time you're tempted to mock that, just go back and Google Disco Duck, kids. Yeah.
Now you stuck that in my head. That's ridiculous.
Disco Duck. All right, see you then.
All right, thanks so much, Paul.
Bye,
now
Paul.
you've actually earwormed that. Appreciate it.
I know. I just placed things inside of an earworm. That would be a good thing for maybe Coors Field
I think I have that in my system also.
with sauce, with lime. I'll have the earworm with not so much lime.
Well, thanks so much, Paul. And it's always a pleasure to be able to have you on the show. And we'll talk to you next week, man.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye, Paul.
Oh, hey, we're back. I want to make sure that you know that the title sponsor of Edge of Indy is Site Strategics, and we're proud to be able to share with our listeners a special offer. So if you want to learn more about digital marketing and how your digital marketing is actually paying off on a return on investment, check out what we're offering. Would you like a second opinion on what is happening with your brand? Well, you can certainly go over to offers.edgeofindy.com/ROI. We're actually offering a really cool discount on the reporting that we do to be able to take a full picture of your digital marketing executions, your brand, your SEO, your social media, all the different areas in which your brand is digitally consumed, and we can actually give you an understanding of your return on investment. So go over to offers.edgeofindy.com/ROI today, and let's get the conversation started and see whether or not this report is a great tool that you could have for your own brand. So thanks so much. And with that, we want to introduce to you a newfound friend of a national treasure of our own right here in Indianapolis, Jon Weed, owner of Be Happy Peanut Butter. Sir, you have the best job in the world here. Well, one of your hobbies as well. But my gosh, the peanut butter that he creates, it is astounding.
It's a little bit like crack.
It is addictive. Yes.
Well, welcome to the show, sir. You're the owner and creator of Be Happy Peanut Butter, and your motto is eat it with a spoon. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yep. We're
So
giving you
let's
permission.
Pass some spoons out.
Yeah, we have a bunch here.
So tell us about this business and how this business came to be and how you got into the world of peanut butter.
Yep. So about 5 years ago, my family and I were always big peanut butter lovers and have tried peanut butter from all over the place. So I'm not a cook. I have no culinary expertise whatsoever, but I decided how hard could it be to make peanut butter. So we started making it in our home, giving it to friends, family, just enjoying it ourselves. And we put things in there that we liked. Peanut butter with pretzels, white chocolate, milk chocolate, toffee, Rice Krispies, chocolate cherry, all kinds of different things. So we started making it and eating it, and then
Everything but the kitchen sink is in your peanut butter, I feel like.
Yeah.
All the things.
we did not make this to be your health food. This is not your low-cal. This is made to be enjoyed. And I see Aaron's getting spoons out.
got up.
So
I got up out of the seat for this one.
so if you want to get some jars, feel free to crack it open and
So
eat it.
the interest was we were actually challenged by you earlier on to actually conduct an interview while eating peanut butter.
And I said to him, done.
Yeah, you're professionals. You can do this.
I mean, don't give me a challenge unless you want me to do it.
Absolutely. So tell us,
Let's cover your variety of flavors.
go over.
So we have nine flavors. I'll try to remember them all. But white chocolate pretzels, one is called Dream Big. All of the names are meant to be positive and fun. We started this really as a family business. So when you were saying I'm the owner and creator, it truly is a family business.
Oh, cool.
My wife Kathy, my son Jackson, and Julie and Sawyer are all integral parts of the business. So we've got one with white chocolate pretzel, milk chocolate toffee, chocolate cherry. One with cranberries.
Chocolate cherry? Did you say chocolate cherry?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's called Count Your Blessings. It's amazing. Joy to the World is a white chocolate, dark chocolate, and dried cranberries. Snickerdoodle. We have a trail mix, which was actually the very first flavor that we came up with. So it's chocolate chips, raisins, flaxseed in it.
So that one's healthy for you.
Kinda.
Soda.
Sure.
No, it totally is.
Go with that. And then we do have a plain peanut butter. We call it Keep Smunchy. And the texture for all of it, and I think it's one of the things that makes it unique, is the texture somewhere between smooth and crunchy. So we
Smunchy.
Smunchy. Actually, my sister-in-law came up with that term. So we
So you're not that creative.
we honor her. So and then we have, just found out, your favorite, the
My favorite.
apple cinnamon.
So good.
Yep. And the other one is Don't Worry. So it's coconut, dark chocolate, and almonds in it.
Oh my Lord.
So it's your almond joy in a peanut butter form.
So the interesting thing about this is that you're proving us to eat with a spoon, but
Right.
yet we have yet not gotten to
Yeah.
that.
What do you want to try?
And on top of it, the interesting thing is that once you actually start eating that jar with the spoon, that's your jar.
Well,
Not if you take one thing out
I was
of
going
it.
to say, you made the mistake.
I'm
of
talking
just-
double
Don't
dip.
be an animal.
You needed to grab the box of spoons, especially with your illness.
No, gee, I was
no
just
one
gonna
wants to
take-
be double dipping with you today.
No, I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
If I offer to double dip with you, the answer is no, everyone.
Malaria flavored peanut butter.
So this one is the chocolate cherry. So Aaron, you can
Yeah.
work on that one, and it's
Oh my
got big
gosh.
cherries in there. So dig
Diet
deep.
be damned.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, look at this. I'm gonna get. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my Lord.
And here, Brittany, I'm going to give you the milk chocolate toffee and Rice Krispies. So that is dessert in a jar.
Thank you. Thank you for knowing.
And unless you have some,
Wow.
if you can't eat dark or milk chocolate, we'll get you a different one.
That would be no way to live.
Okay,
so
good.
Don't worry.
That's not one of the things you'd give up for the
Heavens,
10%
no.
raise?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Not even if it was an allergy would I give that
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah, there you go. Grab all those spoons.
I've got spoons now. I've got more spoons.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So
We've just destroyed the little pyramid design that we had there, but
best
All right.
laid plans. So this is a snack mix. Oh my gosh.
yeah, so we really made it. This is not the kind of peanut butter that you would use on a sandwich. People say, well, how do I eat it? And it's, it's great with an apple, good with a banana.
put your face in it.
Right. Good on a feed bag.
Oh wow.
But really just with a
Not really
spoon is, there you go.
I'm
the-
waiting for my favorite. Will you do this one?
The white chocolate, you know what? And I didn't bring your favorite. I know. I didn't know.
You had
should've-
one job.
You should have emailed me like this is the one I'm addicted to. I
did.
didn't know.
Don't mind us, folks.
Sorry.
What else do we have over here?
Yeah. So this is the white chocolate, dark chocolate, and cranberries.
Okay.
We've got the trail mix, if you want to try that one. We've got a snickerdoodle that's actually snickerdoodle popcorn that's mixed into our plain peanut butter.
Yes, that's the ticket.
So it's got this cool textury.
I love the
popcorn.
snack mix.
Yeah. So stir that one around a little bit and
This is my new spoon. This is
Okay.
not malaria.
yeah, I'm not taking these jars with me now. So you have just earned yourself 7
That's too
jars
funny.
of peanut butter.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
You want some of this? Sorry, everyone. Let's just eat and then we'll get back to this.
So this is a family affair, right? But
Yep.
and you also wanted to do this, so you wanted to teach your kids about running a small business.
Yeah, that's really what happened. Was we were
Oh wow!
making this peanut butter and enjoying it, and we had one of these serendipitous moments where a friend of ours in Zionsville, we're in Zionsville, Indiana, she came and said, "Oh, hey, I'm opening a store in Zionsville, and I'm going to have a commercial kitchen, and I know, if you guys want to do your peanut butter at the farmers market,
Cool.
you can make it our kitchen and then sell it there." And I thought, okay, well, that would be as my wife says, she had committed to, a summer little job. And so I thought, it'd be a fun way to teach the kids how to run a business, and they'd have to interact with people at the farmer's market and sell and do all that kind of stuff that I think is good for kids to learn how to do. So we did it, and then some stores found us. Goose the Market found us, as you guys are very close to.
Yep.
And kind of once they found us, they gave us the street cred that all of a sudden other stores started calling us and saying, "Hey, we saw you at Goose the Market. We'd like to carry you also." And
You're in Target now.
yeah, so here we are 5 years later.
Wow.
And we're in 6 Targets around Indianapolis. We're in Fresh Time, Market District all over the Midwest. We have shipped to 49 of the 50 states, so we have a big online shipping presence.
What state is holding out
We're
on
missing North Dakota, so if anyone out there has someone from North Dakota.
We'll have to contact people from Edge of North Dakota.
Yes, so hit your franchise out there and see who wants peanut butter. But yeah, we've Alaska, Hawaii.
You didn't double dip, did you?
I did not know.
Okay,
No.
okay, I'm just checking.
You really are professional. You're getting through this with
Absolutely.
big bites.
I am. And I'm
No
allowing,
judgment. No judgment.
I'm
just
allowing you to deliver some great messaging
observations.
as this stuff stuck to
Allowing
the
you to
roof of my
deliver.
mouth.
Yeah.
While you eat, because you've got a lot in your mouth, can you tell us kind of about your journey as an entrepreneur? This is like an accidental entrepreneur thing.
Yeah.
What's the journey been like? And obviously, now that you're in Target, you're kind of a big deal. So, were you expecting this kind of growth? And like, what's it been like?
No, it's been really fun, and we've had some challenges along the way. Things like getting our commercial kitchen approved and licensed by the state, and those kind of things. Getting our labels, all that kind of stuff has been a challenge and a learning experience. And like I said, we haven't done this before, so when everything that we did was a first time, and we've
Sure.
learned along the way, but it's been really great. We've gotten to do cool stuff like this. We've been on television. We've had newspaper articles, and really the part that I've enjoyed the most is getting to know other food people in Indianapolis. Just the other people that are starting small businesses.
Right.
Carrie Abbott Friddle, and Rob at Indiana Pickle, and Mark at Butterable Chip Company. There's great products And there's a lot of really great stores. I mean, Goose is just one of them, and I don't want to list too many because I'll forget someone and make someone mad. But yeah, it's been a really neat experience to kind of feel like a part of a community.
I have to say, too, so Tyler, who also works here, and I saw you all at the Yelp Christmas Bazaar.
Oh, my God.
It was like you were the Beatles. It was amazing.
It is the craziest night.
We waited like 20 minutes to get up to the table to get a spoonful of peanut butter.
I
And
know.
it was, and then we were like, oh my God, let's go to the back of the line and do it again. Like, we have to go get another one.
Yeah, it is.
It was like you all were the Beatles. It was incredible.
It is our favorite event, and we sell
All the peanut butter.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jars of peanut butter in 3 hours, and the line's always crazy. And we hand out, thousands of samples and spoons. I mean, we go through literally a couple thousand spoons that night, and it's a great way for us to interact with our, addicts.
Sure.
And we get to, we call. I mean, that's what we be
He's
happy
losing all his
addicts.
spoons right now. This is what happens.
I'll resemble that remark.
Yeah. So it's fun. We get to hear all the positive feedback, and it's really a great event. And Brittany, obviously, you've met Brittany from
She's
Yelp.
great.
She's unbelievable. I mean, she is a star in this community for
awesome.
For people like us.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, peanut butter always has seemed like magic to me, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of showing the cards here. And
You're not going to get emotional, are you?
I'm open-cleft.
Right.
That's just a
You
little
promised you weren't going to cry, Aaron, okay?
Pull
You
it
said that
together.
right off the bat.
bit. So, what does the peanut butter process really entail?
How do you do this?
Yeah. Well, we won't give out too many secrets,
Right.
but we jokingly.
The door is locked. You're
Yeah.
not going to leave until.
Actually, you know what? We've been on television and they've shown it all. So there's no, and it's, there's no proprietary secret. I mean, I joke that, we're not just small batch. We're kind of embarrassingly small batch peanut butter. I mean, if you saw our kitchen, the Cuisinarts that we use and the KitchenAid mixers and all that stuff, nothing is made in a large vat. So, we get
wow.
our 50-pound boxes of peanuts and we grind it, and then we decide which flavors we want to put into it, and we mix it in. We add a little bit of peanut oil. I think the one thing I like about ours is a lot of peanut butters that we ran across, it's basically smooth peanut butter with maybe some stuff in it. And it's hard to get a spoon through it. Or everything sinks to the bottom and you're stuck stirring it, and it's really hard to stir. And so with our texture and the oil, we really try to make it so you can stir it easily, get a spoon through it, and again, the texture is, honest to God, unlike anything that
It's so good.
we've seen anywhere. And we've ordered, I think, every peanut butter from every website in America, and I have not found anything like it. Do you need more spoons?
Oh, we've got more spoons. I'm going to have the team actually zoom in on the texture here because it is absolutely unique. And this is the trail mix, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the Dream Big, the white
is-
chocolate pretzel.
Got it. Yeah, this is Dream Big. You guys see that? Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to put it over here. There we go. Look at that texture. Get a little bit more of that. That stuff.
That's the good stuff.
It almost looks like trail mix. It almost looks like oatmeal, but my gosh, I mean, this is wonderful stuff to be able to dig into, and you can certainly see this is not your ordinary peanut butter.
No, yeah, you're not going to put that on a sandwich, and
And if you are, you're a crazy person.
Yeah, it should never get to the bun. It should never get to a piece of bread.
right. And if you're putting on a bun, then you're really
Then
crazy.
you
I mean, I don't
might
know what
actually
kind of-
need to be in a hospital.
But I literally have 3 jars in my office that I keep in there, and if I just miss breakfast or want a little something sweet at night before I go to bed, just a spoonful is
You're right. Dipping fruit and stuff in it, that would be
Yeah,
good. though.
apples
like a
are
good
so
apple,
good,
That would
and-
be that's pretty smart.
yeah.
And we're sorry to our audience. In fact, one of our audience members actually says, hey, this is making me hungry for Be Happy peanut butter. That's Jennifer Azar out there.
Okay.
The one
Thanks,
to jump
Jennifer.
in. Yeah, absolutely. So we
Appreciate that.
highly implore you to go get a jar of your own. You don't get any from us. Just saying. So what other new flavors are on the horizon? Or would there be any type of recommendations to first-timers where they would start on this Be Happy journey here?
Yeah, I mean, we've tried to make enough flavors that you're going to find something you like.
Already did 4 right here.
Right. And it's okay if you don't like
Why
them all.
stop at one, really?
Our best sellers are the Dream Big, the white chocolate pretzel is by far our best seller. If you're really a sweet tooth, the Go Lucky, which is milk chocolate toffee and Rice Krispies. I mean, it's a candy bar in a jar.
Where's that?
She's got that right there.
It's in front of you.
Right here?
Nope.
Okay, your blessings.
Nope, the green.
Oh.
Yep.
Don't touch that. Don't touch that.
Don't put your dirty spoon in it.
I'm not. That was your spoon.
No, my spoons are over
I
here.
don't know what that is.
Yeah.
My spoons are right here.
Okay, quit fighting, guys. All right, we got a show running.
I
here.
know. Jeez.
All right.
Quit getting hangry.
So new flavors on the horizon.
Yeah. So we're always. I mean, obviously, we get a lot of suggestions for new flavors. So it's probably one of our biggest challenges is making it work and keeping the consistency right. So one of the things that we've have tried and haven't perfected yet is like a s'more flavor. So something with
Yes, marshmallow in it.
marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers is one. We've tried a peanut butter banana, which
Elvis?
yeah, and finding the right banana is the right. I mean, it's so funny. We've ordered different banana chips and they're too dry, and then we've found some bananas but they're too
sugary
expensive,
and
yeah. So finding the right product to go in there and have the consistency be the same is always a challenge. We're also. You've probably know about Just Pop In.
yeah.
The girls, I mean, they're awesome. And so we're working with them and would love to try to find something collaborative.
You are working with
So
them?
you beat me to
Yes.
the question.
So-
is literally with the local environment and the foodies that are around, finding an opportunity to join forces and dominate the planet, right?
Right.
I mean, but literally, Just Pop In would be perfect.
Aren't they awesome, by the way?
Oh my gosh, we met them a few weeks ago.
They're phenomenal.
And I mean, they're
Hi, girls. I'm sure you're watching.
I mean, it was funny. We walked into their soon-to-be open or going to be open new place, which is unbelievable. And it was my wife and I, and we walked in, and they just gave us the biggest hug. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, we're so excited to meet you." And we were like, "Wait a minute, we're so excited to meet you! Like you guys are rock stars!" And
They really are.
Yeah. So just getting to meet people like that. I mean, it's such a cool collaborative thing, and that we've got in Indianapolis on the food side. That's unbelievable. I mean, we got in it at a time that I think was just starting, and it's fun to see other food people grow up, like we've kind of grown up over the last 5 years also.
So to build off of that, what would you tell our Edge of Indy viewers who are pretty good about supporting local? Why is it so important for the Indianapolis community to support these local companies?
Yeah, you have no idea how hard, these people work. I mean, we've gotten to where we are, I will say with some luck, but there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. I mean, those first few years, literally, being in the kitchen till 2 a.m, going in at night after putting the kids to bed and going in till 2 and then getting up at 6 to go to my regular job and all of that stuff. I mean, there's so much hard work, and the store owners that carry us and these other food people, it is not a 9 to 5. It's never a 9 to 5, and it's never, 50, 48 weeks a year. It's every week, and so these people really put a lot of passion into it, and I'd say the passion is the thing that we're most connected with.
Amen, amen. And we see that on our show.
Yeah,
all the time. It's amazing to hear people's stories, but the conviction, the passion that they've got is fantastic, and it's infectious as well.
Yeah,
not unlike malaria.
Right.
That's all. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
New spoons every time.
Every time. Everyone was watching, and I used new spoons.
It's all documented.
It's 3 spoons, 3 flavors. I had.
I mean, kudos to you for plugging into the local community. Just on that aspect, why should people choose local?
Yeah, you know what? There's great stuff out there, and I'd say one of the things that we have found, or that we get the sense from people that like our product, and you could say the same thing about Indiana Pickle and others out there. It's kind of fun to find something unique and introduce people to something unique. Our busiest time of the year is the fourth quarter because people love to give this as a gift because they like to introduce someone to something new that they haven't found, somewhere else. And I think locally there's plenty of those options out there, and you guys have had a ton of them on your show. And it's kind of like going to a good restaurant for the very first time. You have that experience, and you want to share that experience with other people. Or going to see a great movie. I mean, And that's kind of what we have found with our product is, people like it, they fall in love with it, and then they want to be the ones to introduce it to their friends, their family, and we ship it all over the country, and that's because, people kind of like to, feel like they're introduced something to someone.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's brand alignment. And I mean, for people that care about their community, there's so many great producers of food and beverage here in Indianapolis. You can really personalize a gift, but also you can certainly give back and see those dollars go to work in your community, right?
Right. And all the other people I know that do this, I mean, we're charitable. Obviously, you had Christamore House before we were here, and my wife's going to that event, and she's super excited about it. Just to plug them, and we give out a lot of peanut butter to organizations, charities in Indianapolis for silent auctions. There's a good chance that your viewers have seen us in some sort of silent auction at some charity because we just do a ton of that stuff.
Cool.
Good for you.
And there's just, and a lot of other companies can say the same thing.
Sure.
Well, lastly, where do we get the goods?
Yeah, so some of the bigger places, and I don't want to just push the bigger places, but we're in Target, we're in Fresh Time, we're in Market District, but we're in great smaller stores also, Supremacy downtown and Homespun and
Good old Homespun.
Yeah.
Talk about local gifts.
Oh, yeah. Amanda does
gosh.
an awesome job there. Joe's Butcher, Nicole Taylor's Twisted Sisters, those are all some of our first people. But if you go to our website, we have our retail locations on there. In fact, we don't have all of them. It needs to be updated because there's a lot more.
Because you're booming now.
Yeah.
So we'll throw that up on screen. The website is behappypeanutbutter.com. There it is.
Yeah, and it's the letter B. It's not B-E, and
Right.
people ask us about that all the time. And I don't have a good answer of why we picked that.
Just because.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kitschy. It's something neat.
Because you're hip and cool.
Ah, there it is. And so search the letter B, peanut butter, and you'll find Shangri-La. You'll actually find so much goodness coming out of the website. So final thoughts about that potential foodie entrepreneur. What words of wisdom would you give them?
Yeah, my advice always, and it's been fun because we've gotten advice and now we get asked for advice. And I just tell people, whatever you're going to do, and I don't care if it's, pickles or dog biscuits or whatever.
Don't combine those.
Not together. And we're not doing a dog biscuit peanut. But
however, you can probably find that at the ballpark someplace near you.
In that last bit, you just have to be passionate about it because you're going to have things that are going to come up, and it's going to make it hard. And if you can't be your best seller of it, then then you're not going to be able to have people try it. And so you just have to know it's going to be a lot more work than you think it's going to be. And if you're not totally 100% committed to it, you're going to give up before you're successful. And we've been lucky that we were successful kind of early and had some neat opportunities to get our name out there early.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely. They got to love what they do.
Yeah.
You can't be half in. You got to be full in. And if they're not, you got to drop it early, right?
Right.
So, and some people aren't wired to be entrepreneurs either.
Yeah. One thing I've heard is if you're going to fail early.
Yeah.
Like don't, try to have.
No, you're absolutely right. So for the socials, I certainly follow them on Twitter at BeHappy, just singular letter B, Happy P Butter. And on top of that, go look on Facebook as well. Search the letter B, Peanut Butter. You'll find all the goodness right there. We really appreciate your time
so
and such a pleasure to experience the wonderful gourmet of peanut butter that you have here.
Oh, thanks.
And we'll try and share with the others in the other room.
I was going to say, I see other people, and
I don't know if they're. I don't know. This is the one I'm going to be.
Aaron accidentally threw your spoons on the floor. Sorry.
Sorry. Very cool. Well, we thank you for your time today,
Yes,
and we
thanks.
certainly
It's been
wish you
fun.
all the best of luck in the world.
Thanks.
No, you're more than welcome. All right, that's a wrap for this episode of Edge of Indy. Thanks for everybody watching and listening at home. We certainly appreciate some reviews from our audience, and make sure that you go into Indianapolis with a mindset of choosing local and choosing local often. The community is always appreciative of your dollars going to help these businesses and these causes. Jump into the charity realm and go to Christamore and be able to give back your time as well as your dollars. So this is Edge of Indy, Site Strategics, what you need to do. And thanks so much for watching. We'll be back with you next weekend, Wednesday, not the weekend, Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.